parents. I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about this book before I read it to your children. This book is called Scaredy Squirrel at the Beach, and it was obviously written in a humorous way to be read before the pandemic reached our shores. I still think it's a great book to read to your children because it talks about things we are scared of and whether they are real or not real. It approaches it all in a funny way, and I think it would be a great tool for you to use to talk to your children about how you're going to have to change behavior at pools or lakes or at the beach. So it's just a good jumping off for you, and I will talk about some of that when I read to the children. If you are uncomfortable with this book, please feel free to just not show it to your children. Thank you. All right, boys and girls, here is my book for today, Scaredy Squirrel at the Beach. Remember, I said we were going to be talking a little bit about the beach and the ocean. Okay. At the very beginning of this book, there's a warning. And you know what the warning is? It is, make sure you wear your sunscreen when you read this book. Well, you don't really need sunscreen to read the book, but when you're outside at the beach, you certainly do want to let mom or dad or a grown-up put sunscreen on you, because a sunburn is no fun. Here's the first page of the book, Scaredy Squirrel at the Beach, and it's by Melanie Watts. Some children told me that they have seen this on the VOOC's website where people read stories to children. So maybe you've read some of the other Scaredy Squirrel books. Scaredy Squirrel never goes to the beach. He'd rather vacation at home alone where it's safe than risk being surrounded by the wrong crowd. What do you think he means by the wrong crowd? Well, the author's going to explain that to us. A few crowds Scaredy Squirrel wouldn't want to be caught in the middle of a flock of seagulls. I can agree with Scaredy Squirrel on that one. Tribes of jellyfish. They can sting if you're not careful. Herds of sea monsters? Do we have sea monsters at the beach? No, that is a silly one. How about a pack of pirates? No pirates at the beach. Tons of falling coconuts. Well, our beach on the Atlantic Ocean does not have palm trees, so you don't have to worry about them. And mobs of lobsters. No lobsters in the water at our beach either. So he's perfectly happy to build his very own private beach. Now that sounds like a great idea. Would you like to have your own private beach? Well, Scaredy Squirrel has a plan for you if you want to build your own beach. These are the things he says you have to have. You have to have paper and crayons, a stick, an inflatable pool, a flashlight, a bag of kitty litter. Wonder why. One plastic flamingo. So those are the things you need if you want to build your own beach. And this is how he says to do it. First, you have to draw some beach scenery. Use a stick to hold it upright. Cover the ground with the sand. What's the sand? It's the kitty litter. I'm starting to not agree with this squirrel. Inflate the ocean and turn on the sunlight. He has a flashlight for sunlight. And last one, He puts a flamingo out. He says, put in beach wildlife. We don't have flamingos on our beaches, do we? And the last thing he says is to enjoy yourself. It looks like a beach and feels like a beach, but it doesn't sound like one. Scaredy Squirrel notices something is missing. The soothing sound of the ocean. In your head, can you imagine the sound of the ocean? Can you imagine that? Well, he needs to have that sound, so he came up with a solution. He says he has to make a quick trip to the real beach and find a seashell that fits the description below. And there is a seashell. Remember when we had seashells in our science center and people would put them up to their ear and hear the ocean? There's a little thing here at the bottom. It says, alert, seashell must not be occupied. Because sometimes there are crabs and things in the seashells, right? But traveling to the real beach requires a lot of planning. He says he has to have a passport to go to the beach. We don't need a passport. It's just a little ways away, isn't it, for us? And he also has to make up a map to get there. I bet your mom and dad can get you to the beach without using a map. And he has all different kinds of things to be careful about, like the seagulls. How do you think he's going to get to the beach? Can you see this? And this? He's going to get in a box and mail himself to the beach. This is not only a scaredy squirrel, but a silly squirrel. Oh, now he tells you what you have to bring. Remember, he said to make sure you wear sunscreen. But oh my goodness, look what he has on. He has a helmet on. That's in case one of those coconuts falls on him. And he has boots. I guess he doesn't want to get his feet wet at the beach, huh? And on his hands he has oven mitts. Sometimes the sand can get hot, can't it? And let's see. Oh, this is funny. He has a French fry to distract the seagulls. They are pesky. He has a life jacket on. That's a good idea. And he's got his camera too. That's a good idea to take your camera. So the next morning he planned. Scaredy Squirrel jumped into the box. At 7:30 in the morning he got picked up by the mail truck and it drove him to the beach. At 8:42, Scaredy gets dropped off and waits. And waits. Oh, there he is in the box. 11:42, a crowd appears. People were not part of his plan. Scaredy Squirrel panics and plays dead. 30 minutes later, oh my goodness, a little girl sees him. What is she doing to him? She's burying him in the sand. Have you ever done that? Where somebody covers you, not your head, but just your arms and your legs? 2 hours later, look, he looks like a beach ornament. Finally, Scaredy Squirrel realizes that the perfect seashell is right under his nose. You see that big seashell there? That's a good one for what he wanted, isn't it? To hear the ocean. Surrounded by friendly people, he decides to join the crowd. And here are some of the things that the people are doing on the beach. He builds a sand castle. He takes pictures. He lays in the sun. And if you look at that, he's not too close to people. Remember, right now, we're supposed to try to stay 6 feet away from people that are not part of our family so we don't share germs. And he's doing a pretty good job. Not so much here. He's doing a pretty good job of staying away from people. Do you know how far 6 feet away is? It's about as tall as your daddy is, I bet. Okay, so let's see. He looks like he's had a good day at the beach. He forgets all about the seagulls, the jellyfish, the sea monsters, the pirates, and the coconuts and the lobsters. Back home, after a day of fun in the sun, Scaredy Squirrel's inspired to make one more important addition to his own beach. What is missing from his beach that was on the real beach? And it says here, a crowd. And what does he put there? He puts garden gnomes all around the beach. So it looks like there are other people there. Do we really want to have a crowd at the beach? No. We want to enjoy the beach and be safe on the beach. And your mom and dad will talk to you about how far away you have to be when you get to play on the beach. So you can see Scaredy Squirrel was scared of all different things on the beach. But he really didn't have to worry about any of them, did he? He just had to do what your mom and dad are going to tell you to do and stay safe at the beach this summer. All right, boys and girls, I'll see you later. Bye.